Hey, welcome to the first episode of Money. How are you doing? Today class I'm going to be looking at organic chemistry. In case you have not seen Money, Money is an everyday class which we do to understand past questions in JAMB, WAEC, and NECO. So in today's class, we'll focus on organic or chemistry. That is the first episode. Now, in organic chemistry, we are going to be looking at the nomenclature and other things. I'll give you tips and tricks on how to name these compounds. Now, let's look at the compound on the board. Now, if you look at the compound, we have uh, an organic compound and we have a double bond here. We have double bond here. So once we have a double bond here, this double bond means that this particular uh, organic compound is from alkene. Is from what? Alkene. So how do you know whether something is from alkene or that it is? So now let's look at this. We have families of organic chemistry, and the families of organic chemistry is called homologous series. Homologous what series. And those particular family has their functional group in which you can use to identify them. And in the first homologous series, we have something like alkane. And what can you use to identify them? Single bond. We have something like alkene. What can you use to identify them? Double bond. So once you see something carrying a double bond, here, you know that that's particularly. We have something like alkanol. What you can use to identify them is OH. We have something like alkyne. What you can use to identify them is triple bond. We have other ones like alkanoids, we have alkanoic acid, but we're going to drop a full video on organic chemistry. So stay tuned. For now, let's talk about how to actually do it. So first thing to do when you want to do is to count your longest continuous chain. What is the longest continuous chain? We have three types of chain in organic chemistry. We have what we call single chain, we have stretch chain. So you have stretch chain, we have branch chain, and we have ring chain. So we'll talk about stretch chain. Stretch chain is like this. The one that's going C, 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 C. All these things are carbon chains. So that's a stretch chain. And this is in straight line. That's why it's called stretch chain. Then we have branch chain. See branch chain. If something now come and this one started going like this is what? Branch chain. Now ring chain is something like this. Listen now, it is in ring form. That is ring what chain. So now, if you look at the board now, you can see that we have what we call what? We have a chain here, and majorly it is stretch chain. By the end of the day, you are seeing something on top here, another thing. So that is another thing you have to have in mind. So what you want to do when you want to see a question on organic chemistry is to what? To count the longest continuous chain. Longest continuous chain. So let's count here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. You can count, that is the first. If you count from the first two, you have 4. You count like this 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything is, you still have 4. We can count 1, 2, 3 and come here 4. If you are following any, you can follow any. So if you count like this 1, 2, 3, you only have 3. If you count like this. So in all this one, which one do you have the longest one? Is when we counted like this or when we counted like this. You can count organic chemistry like this. You can count like this, depending. You can count from anywhere. So now, if you get your longest continuous chain, my longest continuous chain first is 4. My longest continuous chain is what? Is 4. So what do we call 4 when it comes to homologous series? Now in homologous series, we have, we have alkane and other things. And those alkanes, alkane, alkyne, they have a member. Just see it as your family. In your family, you have the father and the mother, and all of them bear names. The father has his son name and his son name, and after that, the father now has children. So every family will also have their own children. They have the name they actually bore their firstborn, secondborn, thirdborn, etc. Now let's talk about it. In organic chemistry, the first is met. The second is X. The third is Prop. The fourth is Brute. The five is Pent. The six is Hex. The seven is Hex. The eight is Oct. The nine is Non. And the 10 is Dec. Now, this is the name of the first born, second born to the last born. So this 10 is not the last one. We still have many, but now this is where we're going to stop from. So if you have that now, this particular family is from, now you can say that this is from Akin. It will not answer their surname. Their surname is AN. You now add ANE. It will now become methane. This one will become methane. Another thing. If the family is from Akin, what do you think is going to my answer? Methane and methane, another thing. But there's no methane when it comes to Akin. We'll talk about it later. Now, um, let's look at what we have here. So remember what I said, that the first thing to do is to what? Know the word continuous chain. Count and get the longest continuous chain. And the longest continuous chain here is 4. And what do we call it? 4. Now, the next thing you are going to now know is that you have to check the functional group in which this thing is. The functional group. I told you the first time, this is the functional group here. We have other things. So the functional group is a what? Is an atom or what? Or group of atoms that actually do what? Actually carry the major characteristic of that homologous series. So now if you look at this now, this is good, this is double bond here. And this means that this is what? ENA. That's what? Butane. That is the first thing you have to have in mind. Now the second thing again is that if you want to count, you must count from the side that gives you the lowest number in the functional group. The side that gives you the lowest number from the functional group. Remember, I'll count it like this. Let's check the side that will give us the longest continuous chain, as in the shortest continuous chain when it comes to the functional group. We count 1, 2, 3, and 4. So coming here now, the carbon that will be carrying the number 3. Any carbon you count first before a functional group is the one carrying it. So count is 1, 2, 3. This one is carrying it. That means this is found at number 3. Okay, let's count like this. 1, 2. That means this is found at what? Number 2. And this one happen here. This is found at number 2. So which one will you choose? You will choose number 2. That's the first thing to know. So having number 2, you have it in mind that you can name this as 2 boots in. This 2 boots in means that the functional group was found with at number 2 carbon, or we can call this boot 2 in. Anyone you use, whether it's 2 butene or boot 2 in, you're correct. You are doing what? You're correct. So that is the first. Remember the first step, count the longest continuous chain, which we have actually done. The second one was what? We actually identified what? The functional group and give the functional group the lowest possible number. Now, let's go to the next one. In the next one, we are going to identify what we call the attachment group or the substituent group. In the substituent group here now, we have many things that can form the substituent group. The major things you can see that always form substituent group are alkynes. So in that, the family are methyl, which is CH3. The next one is ethyl, which is C2H5, H4. Then the next one, propyl, etc. Another one that is good. But these are the major ones you have to have in mind. These are 2 major ones that usually do you always pay attention to. Okay, so this is C2H5 and it's in minus C2H5. So these are the key ones that you majorly focus on. They are always like attachment. Do you understand now? When you watch organic chemistry, I'll tell you why this thing is attachment because I want this video to be short. There are some certain things that they need to have to do. This video will not be long. So, but organic chemistry class will be really soon. But now look at this now. This is what we call this always form attachment. Other things that can form attachment are something like chlorine, bromine, all these things are family of what? Iodine, and these ones are family of halogen. And when all these chlorine, bromine form this thing, you call them chlorine turns to chloro, bromine turns to bromo. You just remove the INA and replace it with what? O. So anytime you see halogen forming an attachment, you now know. So how do you now know attachment? You know attachment, the one you not count. Measure the one you not count. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. We didn't count this. This forms an attachment. I know someone will ask me, what of this one down? Is it forming an attachment? This one is something like writing CH. This is CH here. It's something like writing your CH, but it came down here. It's how the structure was written. So this one is not forming an attachment, but this is part of this. So this is forming attachment. If I counted like this 1, 2, 3, 4, which one will be forming attachment? This. Did you get that now? Now, the next thing is to now put number on where you found the attachment group and the name of the attachment group C. Put a number on where you found the attachment group and where the attachment group was actually formed. Let's check. Remember, we are now counting from this side. The reason being that we are giving the functional group the lowest possible number. So counted like this 1, 2, 3. We saw it at 3. And what's the name of this attachment group? This is CH. It is what? Methyl. So when we want to now name, we will start with 3 methyl, 3 what? Methyl, because we saw it at number 3. But 2A or 3 methyl 2 but A. So anyone you use is still going to be the answer. So this is answer. This is answer. No reason why I should say that this thing is same as this. Anyone want to use. So let's look at our options to know what you have there. We have option A, 2 methyl but 3A, 2 methyl but 4A, 3 methyl but 2A, 3 methyl but 1A. Our answer is 3 methyl but 2A. No, I know I have actually learned something in the today morning thing. So always subscribe and comment, like, share this to your friends that this is going to help them, and always don't miss our episode on Wednesday. Our episode on Wednesday will be 6 a.m. every morning. Just check the video and see it. Thank you very much. And